Hi everyone, it's Annie from Phoenix Healing. I hope everyone is having a wonderful day. It is Sunday, October 5th, 2025, and I just wanted to come on and do a little video regarding the energy for what we can expect and um, anticipate and feel for tomorrow for Monday, October 6th full moon, and especially because the three most potent days are starting today, with the fifth being the first one. Of course, certain people can pick up on energies a little bit more and obviously can start to experience the full moon energy. Even another parent at the dog park even had asked me, like, when is the next full moon, because they were already like sensing, feeling and energies about that, and I said it was for on Monday. So with that said, we'll go into this video. So eclipse season is officially over, but October is just beginning to ramp up. So like this month we are starting strong with the full moon tomorrow for Monday, October 6th, 2025. So it's rising in the bold and brazen sign of Aries. This fire ruled illumination is the first supermoon of the year, so meaning it's peaking in closer proximity to the Earth than a typical full moon. And it's also earned itself the iconic title of this year's harvest moon. So because this lunar phase brings the moon to its brightest and most visible point, it makes sense that full moons are often associated with intense emotional swells, powerful revelations, and cathartic releases. This energy is naturally helpful for letting go of things, pushing something to a turning point, or otherwise expressing your feelings openly. After the intensity of the eclipses, the Aries super full moon tomorrow on Monday, October 6th, may feel like a chance to exhale and let go. So, what has served its time? What ideas, thoughts, and emotional patterns are we holding on to that no longer support our highest growth? What habits have we fallen into that we may be unaware of how they are limiting us? This full moon is a chance to let it all go and then see what remains. So, super moons have the power to unearth buried emotions and to bring hidden information to the surface. Things come up and out with greater ease under a super full moon, almost like it's a bright, illuminating light that shines in all that needs to be exposed. So, super full moons are also powerful harvest points and are said to bring a ripening of ideas and culmination of projects. Super full moons are also known for helping to bring in abundance. And as this is the first full moon since the equinox, it is also said to bring intentions from March to fruition. So think about what was happening for you in March, or any projects you've been working on since this time. You are likely to see the rewards of your efforts under this October full moon. Alternatively, issues you were working with in March may come back around to be revisited. So there may be more for you to learn, or the super full moon may pull back more of the curtain, revealing new and helpful insights. So this full moon in October 2025, tomorrow, October 6th, known as the harvest moon, will be especially significant from the astrological perspective. So this event occurs in the sign of Aries, which enhances the energy of action, initiative, and courage. It is a super moon that transforms emotions and awakens your inner power. October's full moon is, because it's in that cardinal fire sign of Aries, which happens to be considered the very first of 12 signs, and the zodiac's brave and zealous leader. Aries energy makes this full moon an empowering moment to stand up for your needs, prioritize your own desires, and dig deep into whatever truths have been revealing themselves to you as of late. It's time to reap all that you've sown this season and integrate every important lesson life has taught you. As this first sign of the zodiac, Aries energy is badass, bold, and always ready to blaze new trails. So now is the time to tap into these qualities within yourself. Channel the courageous leader within you and start going after what you want with gusto. There's no reason to wait around for anyone else to make magic happen for you. Aries is just as hot-headed as it is headstrong. So paired with the general emotional intensity of a full moon, you might find that feelings are especially explosive during this period, but you'll find that any blowups are likely to blow over just as quickly as they came. After all, Aries is ruled by the impulsive warrior planet Mars. So, this full moon, really invites you to release. This is a good time to let go of what no longer serves you in your life. Good time for empowerment. Harness the energy to make bold decisions and pursue your passions. It's time for reflection. While Aries drives you to action, it's also important to reflect on the motivations behind your desires. It's also very important that you don't abandon yourself to appease anyone else. So currently Mars is well placed in its other home base sign of Scorpio, encouraging everyone to be strategic and play the long game when it comes to conquering their goals. While the full moon isn't making any major aspects to other planets, there will also be a concurrent square off taking place between intellectual Mercury in Scorpio and control freak Pluto in Aquarius. So this connection is great for mystery solving and digging deep beneath the surface of whatever you've been struggling with. So if something has been tugging at your psyche, be willing to face the matter head on. However, beware of falling too far down a mental rabbit hole too, as well, as this aspect can lend itself to obsessive thoughts. It's good to be focused, but getting overly fixated can wind up isolating you from the results you actually want. Channel the full harvest moon energy. The diplomatic and partnerships oriented vibe of Libra season, has everyone thinking about themselves in partnership and collaboration with others. But having the full moon across the zodiac and headstrong Aries signals that it's time to focus on yourself. So how can you prioritize your own needs and pursue your own desires without feeling that you're letting other people down? Is the energy of those around you something that you feel the need to fight against, or are they naturally helping to push you in a direction that feels aligned? You got to have your own back in every circumstance, so don't abandon yourself to appease anyone else. It's an ideal time to focus on releasing anything that's hindering your independence or making you second guess your goals. Definitely like tap in very much so to that Aries energy, of taking the independence and also the leadership to really keep that independence and keep people away from you that do not align. Keep people's situations away. This month's emotional yet resilient energy ushers you through a period of transformation as well, because Messenger Mercury's arrival in prospective Scorpio on the same day, on Monday, October 6th, tomorrow, pulls conversations into deeper territory. So you may initially balk at exposing the inner workings of your mind and heart, but vulnerability is the key to strong relationships. Like, communication is key. You have to be vulnerable. That goes for any relationship. Um, that same night, the untamed full moon in Aries dares you to speak your truth. So just be mindful not to scorch anyone with your fire. When under pressure, avoid taking permanent actions based on fleeting emotions. And when Venus, the planet of love, connection, values, and attachments, shifts into cooperative Libra on Monday, October 13th, expect a greater emphasis on cultivating calm rather than feeding chaos. Relationships are now front and center, and a new collaborative venture could be in the works after the new moon in Libra on Tuesday, October 21st. But don't get too comfortable. Monday, October 13th also sees the powerhouse Pluto and its backspin in community-minded Aquarius, like your evolving perspective on individuality, trends, and freedom can have a lasting impact on others. Connect with people who share your values. Neptune retrogrades back into mystical Pisces on Wednesday, October 22nd, just hours before the sun slips into passionate Scorpio. So intuition, compassion, and spiritual insight are on the rise, but the urge to uncover hidden meaning and dissect signs and symbols could cause you to get lost in illusions. So don't lose sight of what matters. Once Mercury journeys into Zodiacal Sagittarius on Wednesday, October 29th, balance your curiosity with clarity and big picture thinking. So bringing back to the full moon tomorrow, full moons are a time for releasing and relinquishing. So if you have an excess in your life, emotional clutter, overcommitments, toxic attachments, toxic relationships, this is a cosmic cue to drain it out, whether through silent meditation, honest conversations, grounding, and just releasing things in general, letting things go. Like this full moon offers us that ritual checkpoint to let it go. This Aries harvest supermoon stands out as well because it's karmic, it's generational. It's also about breaking patterns you didn't sign up for but somehow inherited. Family traditions of hyper independence, beliefs that you have to hustle alone, or reflexes that make you put up armor instead of asking for support. Aries is a zodiac's warrior, and the Sioux Nation invites you to examine the difference between fighting for yourself versus fighting with yourself. So yes, self-sufficiency is noble, but so is the ability to say, I don't have to do it all alone, which is very true, because never be afraid to ask for help. People in the society think asking for help is a weakness, and it's not. Like, it's a sign of strength. When you do something alone and you're overburdening yourself, that's not healthy. That's not good. You always have to be brave enough and courageous enough to be like, yeah, you know what, I need help, and actually do it. And the astrology of this, the energy's everything, like, backs this all up. The moon makes a trine to Vesta, the asteroid of devotion, sacred fire, reminding us that our inner flame stays alive when we actively nurture it. So if you've been feeling unmotivated or disconnected, this lunation calls for intentional recognition, whether that's planning an adventure, taking a philosophy class, or even laughing it out at a comedy show, doing something active, because Aries is a fire sign. You have to do something active. So it's like maybe even like doing some form of exercise or martial arts, or going on a walk, going on a hike, just doing something, moving your body as well. Aries energy doesn't tiptoe, it bursts through walls. Sometimes the only way forward is a breakthrough, and the supermoon delivers just that. And here's where things get interesting too, because Aries energy can also be raw, impulsive, and combative. It's easy to let frustrations boil over into mistake yelling for power. That's where assertive communication comes in. Assertive doesn't mean aggressive. It just means, saying what you need to with clarity and respect without shrinking or exploding. It's that middle ground between silence and shouting. And if you notice people around you getting defensive under the supermoon, remember this, like, not every reaction deserves a reaction. When you can recognize these defenses for what they are, you don't get hooked. Like, you can actually, like, when you see people have this energy, like these explosive reactions and conversations and defensiveness, you can actually see yourself. It's when it happens, when you especially when you work on yourself and you heal, and you can see things. You can actually put yourself outside yourself, and you, it's like almost like very quickly you can see, oh my God, like, they're just reacting to stuff. And you don't, and exactly why it says, like, not every reaction deserves reaction back. Sometimes the best thing is really picking and choosing your battles, and to stay silent, but really observing. But you can really, when you get to that point, it's really interesting how you can just put yourself outside your body and, like, see, like, oh my God, this person is totally reacting to the situation. And it's obviously a very unhealthy way that they're doing this. And then when you recognize it and see, like, yes, it is them, and they're just projecting onto you, it's like, it's very, it's illuminating in itself and very eye-opening to things. And it just shows you just how much healing needs to be taking place in the world and society in general, and to one's soul, for their growth and their healing. So, especially, like, when you can recognize them, it's, you don't give into it, right? You just, like, you're able to keep in yourself, and not meet that energy with what you're getting. uh so instead of, like, responding with your own defensiveness, you pause, you ground yourself, and you meet the moment with intention. And that is the real mastery of Aries energy, not just standing tall in your independence, but knowing when to fight, when to release, and when to walk away with your peace intact. Like, just knowing that mastery, and that skill, like, when you've done the healing work, you know it's so much easier to recognize, and then, oh, okay, and then you very quickly can, like, you recognize it, and then you figure out, okay, you're making a decision on how you're going to respond to this, while it's, like, keeping in alignment with yourself and keeping the peace with you. And as this harvest, supermoon, shines bright, let it be your reminder, independence and self-sufficiency are powerful, but they're not about isolation. You can be both strong and supported, fierce and connected. You can journal about the ways you've carried too much alone, and the partnerships you're ready to invite in. If things have felt heavy, know that this full moon marks the turning point. The allies, collaborations, and relationships you need for your next chapter are closer than you think. And, this Aries super full moon, it's motivating our passions, because this full moon falls in the sign of Aries. We look to Mars, the natural ruler of Aries, to see how this full moon may play out. And because Mars is the planet of action and motivation, and is currently, you know, touring, it's touring through the watery sign of Scorpio. While Mars is fiery, it actually loves to be in watery Scorpio. So it is here that we can actually really dive into what motivates us, what desires we have, and what fuels the energy behind what we do. And there are big realizations, um, that are offered under this full moon, like, around what we truly wish to spend our time doing, what truly motivates us, and if we are following our passions or not. We may feel a strong drive to get things done or finally bring an end to things that we no longer want to give our time to. Our motivation is likely to be high, and this may reveal to us where we truly wish to spend our energy. And with the sun in Libra, the sign of the scales, there's also added support here to create some balance in our lives, especially when it comes to our energy levels. One thing that can come to our attention in Libra season is how much of ourselves we are choosing to give away to others and to events or situations in our lives. This full moon and energies of Libra sun will help us to prioritize how we are spending our energy and to create more balance. The Aries super full moon also, it's this path to deeper authenticity. Eris, the planet of discord and strife, is also activated under this full moon, and Eris is considered the sister of Mars. So we have a doubling of fire energy to work with, and she encourages us to rebel against the status quo in order to express our true authentic selves. While Eris can be a destructive force, she also knows that knows what needs to be burned for higher harmony to eventually flow. And Eris really represents the burning of bridges, the breaking of rules, and letting go of dogma in order to live a life that is aligned with our authentic self. We may feel this desire under the Aries a full moon and find ourselves pushing forward, breaking free from anything that has been making us feel stuck, limited, or unworthy. Um, Eris will be on our side, guiding us to take the plunge, take the risk, and to forge ahead into a truer and more authentic version of ourselves. With the fire energy from both Eris and Mars, we will have the force on our side, but we may also need to be mindful of our path of destruction. So while destruction is sometimes needed for things to be reborn, we will want to proceed with mindfulness. Mars and Eris coupled with a full moon can leave us prone to careless accidents, burning bridges we may later regret, and being too assertive. So if you are a naturally fiery personality, this would be something to keep in mind. But if you're more passive, embrace this fire and use it to assert what you need. It is also worthwhile mentioning that Eris is currently conjunct Chiron, the asteroid of the wounded healer. So this combination can indicate that whatever rebellion or discord we are facing has the opportunity to bring acceptance to any wounds or traumas we may be carrying. Bringing acceptance to our wounds may not make them less painful, but can bring a level of peace and healing. So see what opens up for you under the Aries super full moon. Allow its energies to motivate you, inspire you, and help you push forward into a life of greater authenticity. Let this full moon also be a reminder to exhale. This full moon in Aries marks the key turning point, astrologically hinting that it's time to take time, it's time to take control of your own evolution. So these new moon, full moons are really gentle reminders to reset, reflect, and recommit to your path. And this full moon tomorrow um, is much more than astrological phenomenon. It is a call to reflection, release, and conscious action. Regardless of your zodiac sign, its energies invite you to close cycles, make brave decisions, and open yourself up to new opportunities. Take advantage of the supermoon to balance your life and align yourself with your most authentic goals and desires. So I feel like this energy is really, really coming full force, especially this month of October, and especially since the supermoon is tomorrow and it is in the sign of Aries. So, it really is that time to align more with yourself, keep balance of stuff, and get rid of anything that's toxic in your life. Get rid of anything that does no longer align with your higher self, align with your true self, like align with your soul, with your heart. Just get rid of it, please. And especially with Aries right there, have the strength and the courage and the bravery and determination to let it go. We are definitely, especially, I can't believe how many times I've said it this year, but especially in that 9 energy, it's going to be coming up at so many different points this year because we're in that 9 world year. So work with these, work when the opportunity happens, when it's like certain portal dates, when it's with, you know, um, the moon, the full moon, just letting things go that no longer align, because you deserve to have peace with yourself and peace, um, in your heart, and just be able to live your life authentically and don't give a shit what other people have to say or and think. Just live your life true to you, because you just have to be true to you and don't ever betray yourself. Um, so I hope this energy reading for the full moon tomorrow, and also just a bit of what we can expect, like astrologically wise, for this month of October. I hope this video has been helpful for that. I will be um, offering the full moon readings tomorrow on Monday, October 6th, when the energy is most potent. So if you are interested in having a full moon reading done, you can visit my website, phoenixhealing.com, and click under the Oracle and Tarot card section, and there'll be the first one listed there. So with that said, especially because we are in the potent days of this Aries full moon, and it just being a sign of Aries, take care of yourself, watch yourself, be assertive when you need to, watch your mouth if you need to, but also stand up for yourself and don't take any shit either. It's like having that fine line and that balance is why it's about also like picking and choosing your battles and knowing when to say something and when to walk away. Um, so with that said, I hope everyone has a really great start to their week. Please take care, everyone. Stay safe, stay well, and I will see you guys soon. Bye.